Hi, this is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. Today, I'd like to talk to you about something that artists usually go through. I want to address this issue because it comes up so much in conversation, and unless it's addressed and settled by individual artists, you will never, ever reach your artistic potential. And here's what it is. First, coffee. I don't care what anybody says. Caffeine helps the mind. Okay, getting back to our subject. Oftentimes I've gotten into conversations with artists. One in particular, that I can remember who's been doing a comic book, for years. This guy he's awesome. I won't reveal his name or what he's doing, but he has this concept based on the fact that he's an authority, really, on these two subjects that I haven't seen any artist cover yet. And I've encouraged him to, put his stuff out there because I know that there's definitely an audience for it. I know he would be in a niche all by himself practically, and that he would make a lot of money. I sense this with all of my heart. But he has a problem that a lot of artists have, that I go through from time to time, and I'm sure most of you have gone through at least once. And that's, yeah, but am I good enough? Am I good enough? And I find that a lot of artists in particular go through this angst of, am I good enough? Now, you might not say it, but here's how I know that exists. Usually artists, in showing their work, or when you're asking them to present their work, to a publisher, or to have their own show, or even just to do what I used to do, draw caricatures out on the street, where I made a lot of money from, by the way. Another story. Anyway, I've noticed that they always will say, well, I'm not ready. I got to put the finishing touches on this thing or that thing, or it's almost ready and I'm working on it, I'm working out the kinks with it, and they'll constantly ask different artists for advice. The aforementioned person that I alluded to, who has this great concept, this guy is constantly going to different comic conventions, showing his portfolio around, trying to get advice from other creators. Hey, am I ready? Do I need to work on any more? And of course, when you go to these comic conventions, there's always something that they'll tell you that you're not ready to do. Okay, well, you need to work on perspective. You need to work on your storytelling. Blah 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 blah. Because what else? What else are they going to do? You're asking them a question. They've got to tell you something. They are the authority. But most artists fail to just go out there themselves, warts and all, and do what they have to do. And what I found out just by reading the autobiographies and the biographies of other artists, cartoonists, illustrators, what have you, even musicians that so-called made it in whatever industry they're in, is that they went in to these industries with very little skill, sometimes, a piece of an idea, or very little information. And somehow they found an audience that resonated with them. What you need as a visual artist is guts. Artists are sadly lacking in self-confidence and courage. Have you ever noticed that most people in other industries will have just a little bit of skill, and I tell you, they will present themselves like they are the best thing since sliced bread? It might be arrogant, but there's something about having that positive mindset, even if it goes way over the top, that somehow catapults you into greatness. I've found in my career that whenever I've acted like, and yes, it starts out as acting, whenever I act like what I'm going to do is going to be successful, whatever I'm going to do is going to sell, that it comes up, it just comes out right. It seems that people resonate with what I'm doing. It seems that the money just comes, and it all starts with self-confidence in yourself. So here's what you need to do as an artist. When you create a work of art, I don't just take out of the equation that it's not good enough. What the world is looking for is not something that's perfect. And I use the Beavis and Butthead example, a cartoon that I can't stand. It's badly drawn. The animation is terrible. The guy who drew it, no disrespect, dude, but to me, it looks like a chimpanzee drew the drawings with his toes. But it's successful. What does the artist care what I think? Because it's a successful cartoon. It resonated with people. People like that style. And what I'm trying to get across to you, I'm taking a long time to do it, is that people will like what you do if you do it with conviction and if it's authentic. So please, the world is waiting for you and what you have to offer. Do your drawings. Get your stuff out there in the public eye. Have self-confidence. Be even a little arrogant about it, and you'll be surprised how far you will go. You already have as much technical ability that you need, even if you're drawing stick figures. I'm telling you. Speaking of stick figures, go online, look up this artist called, this character called Cynical Man. It's hilarious and drawn entirely stick figured. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant, and that's my tip for today. Self-confidence. Take care. Happy drawing. And if you want to see my stuff, check me out at www.subwaysurfer.blogspot.com. If you have a comment, please comment below. Like the video so I get a lot of views. And feel free to email me your questions at cartoonsforyou2@aol.com. Thank you.